Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today's flavor is Bailey's. No, there's no alcohol in it. I'm not day drinking. It's just Bailey's flavored. And it's pretty good. I do like regular Bailey's in coffee sometimes. I think it's very tasty. So today is going to be 85. I hope it's not too humid. 85, if it's not humid, is not bad. But if it's humid, it's unpleasant. We get a lot of humidity here. I imagine it's from Lake Erie. But we've had rain the last few days, a little bit. It was a nice steady rain. So that was good because I didn't have to water, but today I have to. So I have one of those expanding hoses out there in the back, and that works pretty well. It doesn't kink up as bad as some of the rubber hoses, and it's not as heavy. So that works out pretty well. But I'd still like to put in some kind of automatic watering system out there, where all I have to do is turn the water on and it waters my little containers, because my garden is all done in containers. I don't have anything planted in the ground in the backyard. It's just all in planter boxes, which makes it much easier for me because I don't have to bend over so much to pull the weeds. So that's my way of getting around it, and next year I'll do things a little bit differently. I'm still not ready to give up the garden. I still enjoy it except for the watering part. That I don't enjoy. So when you have a problem, you have to try different things to alleviate the problem, or at least make the problem not appear so large. And I found over the years the best way to do that is to just try different things. If something doesn't work, try something else until you get to the point where you figure out an answer to or a solution to your problem. Do you guys problem solve that way too, by just doing different things? Sometimes I put everything on paper and I cut the steps down into smaller, manageable steps, and that works well too. So there's nothing that says you have to finish a project all in one day. Sometimes you can take several days or several weeks to get something done if that's what it takes. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine to do things that way. It's pretty slow go, but some progress is better than no progress, in my opinion. So cheers. I added chocolate creamer to the Bailey's coffee, and it's pretty good. So yesterday I did some preserving of my garden food. I had cucumbers and peppers and some onions that I needed to do something with. So I'm looking forward to a couple more jars of refrigerator pickles, and those are delicious. And since I started making those, store-bought pickles just don't appeal to me anymore. I mean, they're okay, but my homemade pickles are just so much better. You can make them as sweet as you want. You can make them as sour as you want, as salty as you want. You can add all kinds of different seasonings to it, whatever strikes your fancy. So I really enjoy my homemade pickles, and they're great on sandwiches. Stick them on top of a salad, and it's very delicious. So today I have to come up with another freezer meal. I don't know, I'll have to take a look and see what I've gotten there, because I certainly have a lot of things to choose from, which is nice. but it's also a bit much. I'll be the first to say I have too much in there. So over the years, I can't eat as much as I used to eat. I eat my dinner on a salad plate, and once that's filled up, that's plenty of food for me. And I usually only eat 2 meals. Sometimes I have a snack in between, something, I don't know, cheese and crackers, but if I have too big of a snack, then I don't want to have my dinner. So I try to keep the snacking down to a minimum, and I don't snack at night. Very rarely do I eat anything after dinner. And in a way, I've sort of done intermittent fasting most of my life because I don't eat breakfast, I eat brunch. So from about 5 o'clock on in the evening until about 10 in the morning, I usually don't have anything to eat, but I do drink my coffee, so I do have a cup of coffee. But that's the way I've eaten my whole life, and that seems to work for me. I mean, I could stand to lose, 10 pounds, but, that's not a horrendous amount, and I'm not too concerned about it. So anyway, I want to enjoy my coffee, and I will meet you over there at the budget book. All right, back at my budget book. So yesterday I didn't spend any money. I stayed home. I didn't shop online. Like I said, I gathered most of the things that I wanted to gather over the past couple months, and that sort of spreads out my expenses over a couple months rather than just one big chunk of money. So I pretty much have everything that I wanted to do. So now I have the projects that I have to finish. And I've mentioned it before, but for those of you that are new here, I have to hang some shelving in my living room. Not any big deal, they're small shelves. I have to put together a kitchen island. There again, it's not a huge one, it's a medium-sized one to give myself more counter space by the stove. What else? I still have my garage that I have to straighten up and purge. I have a few house plants that I want to transplant. So I have a list, and I'll tick things off on that list as I'm able to get things done. So that's what I'm kind of doing, cutting down the projects into smaller tasks and trying to tackle them that way. That way I'm not overwhelmed with them, and it gives me the opportunity to get things done without getting too sore. And I feel like I'm still able to do things. So anyway, that's my strategy and how I bought the things that I wanted to buy. For the garden, I'm starting to slowly buy stands for some of the other city pickers I have. I have quite a few city picker boxes, and they're pretty easy to garden in, but I have 4 of them that don't have a stand. So I bought 2 stands that were marked down, and so then I'll just get a couple more maybe later on in the year or maybe next year, and it'll make the garden look more cohesive, and it'll also make it easier for me because it does lift them up higher than what I have them on now, which is just sort of little plastic patio tables, and that works okay, but It still requires me to bend over some, but I do have one of those. It's like a little dolly cart kind of thing that I can sit and pull the weeds. So I've got that taken care of, so that it's not so much. But like I said, for me, the biggest issue is the watering, and I really need to get out there and figure out a better system for doing that. Not that it's hard. I can do it. It's not hard at all. It's just tedious, and I don't enjoy doing it. So I'm trying to get rid of things that I don't enjoy doing. Whether that's, cutting down on crafting, or watering the garden, or, just different things, so that it's more pleasant. Because I think as you get older and it gets harder to do things, you still want to keep the things in your life that are pleasant for you to do, even though there might be a certain portion of it that you don't like to do. Like an example, the watering. So then you got to figure out a different thing to do to be able to continue doing what it is you want to do. Now, my front garden only takes like 10 minutes. It's not difficult at all. So I don't mind that. And it's not difficult because I have one of those expanding hoses in the front too. And it's very lightweight, and it really doesn't take long to keep the front watered. But I do have to do something with the hanging baskets because they just look awful. So I may end up just getting some fake plants in there, but I do need to cut back all those petunias. I like petunias, but around this time of the summer, they just get really ugly unless you're constantly deadheading them, which is another task that I don't find real pleasant. So the deadheading and the watering, you have to keep them watered or they dry up right away. So that's something I want to work on too, getting something where I like the look of the hanging baskets. I like it a lot, so I just have to figure out maybe a different plant. I don't know. We'll see. I'll get it figured out. When I have a problem, then I work on it until it works for me. That's what I've always done, and that's what I'll continue to do. So, okay, well, I'm doing better with the green check marks, which makes me happy. I think on Monday I'll probably have to take my mom shopping. So we'll see if she needs anything. Right now I don't need anything. I've still got produce. I've got all the things in the freezer. Now I have my pickles. So I'm doing okay. I have pantry goods that I'm able to use up. So I could probably go, I would say at least 6 months and hardly buy anything at the store. So my focus now is to get together a few bucks for my new deck that hopefully will get done in October. And I'll see how much money I can save up for that. And I do that by not buying food because it's not necessary. So even though I'm not building up my pantry anymore, I am keeping it stocked. So if I use a can of corn, I buy another can of corn. And, just rotating the inventory. So, all right. Well, that's the way I'm doing things. It seems to be working out just fine. I'm figuring out what it is I want to continue to do, what it is I don't want to continue to do. It's not like an emergency situation where I have to figure it out immediately. So I just, try different things, and eventually I come up with a system and an amount that works for me. All right, well, I'll be back. From the garden, and I pulled all the weeds out of my flower boxes. So that's done. Boy, there were a lot of them, and they were like this big. They were terrible. So I figured I'd have some iced coffee. Because I never finished my coffee from this morning, so it was cold, and I figured I'll just put some ice in it. And so I think, I'm hoping that those weeds aren't going to come back anytime soon. I have a lot of peppers growing out there. It's a good year for peppers. The tomatoes are doing really well too, and actually the greens are doing well. So I have two spaghetti squash. The zucchini isn't doing so well, and the yellow squash, it's nothing. So I don't think I have enough pollinators back there. So next year I think I need to plant a few more flowers that draw pollinators, like the echinacea and lavender. They like that. So I'm going to plant some perennials in my flower boxes and hope they come back. Now last year I planted black-eyed Susans in one of the containers, and those actually came back this year. Actually, they came back really well. So, but I don't know. I never see a whole lot of pollinators around those, and really there should be. But they do seem to like the echinacea, so I'll pull some out from the front yard and plant those in between some of my veggies in the flower garden. So the dogs liked it out there this morning, but then they got tired of waiting for me, so they went in the house. It's cooler because it's getting humid out there. Again, next week I think we're probably going to get some remnants of burl, because we're supposed to have a stormy day and then it's supposed to cool off some, which is absolutely fine with me. And it's also fine with my flower garden, or with my vegetable garden, because they seem to really grow a lot when the weather cools off. But like I said, I've decided not to do a fall garden this year. I'm going to put the garden to bed around October, once the weather starts getting cold. I'll pull everything up and compost it and call that good. That way it'll give me time to get anything that I didn't get done in the house done before Christmas. So I at least want to do my downstairs projects here before Christmas so that I can just relax and decorate and enjoy the holiday season. And that's going to be upon us before we know it. So anyway, that's what I did this morning, and it wasn't too bad bending over and pulling the weeds, because the raised beds are up higher. They could be a little higher, but it's fine. It's fine the way it is, and I think it's going to work out just fine next year, this new plan that I have for my garden. So, all right, well, I'm going to make myself some brunch, and then I'll be back. Well, I have a little energy left after pulling the weeds, so I'm going to go in my oven and that drawer down there and clean it. So I want to donate some of the things in there. I just have way too much cookware. So that's going to be my project, and I hope to get it done in an hour, which means it'll probably take me 2. But we'll see. First thing I have to do is move all this away, because I can't open the door because it's too tight. Same with the drawer. So I'm going to get moving on this and see how far I get. Hopefully I can clean up the mess I make. So here is all the bakeware that I store in here, and whenever I use the oven, I do use it, I have to take all this out and put it somewhere else. So I want to make some room in here so I don't have to move so much stuff, because I don't use all this anymore, because I'm trying to make life simpler. So this is a job I have been putting off for a very, very long time. I knew it was going to involve crawling around on the floor, looking under that drawer, which was disgusting, because it hasn't been cleaned down there in a number of years. And it was even more disgusting than what I thought it was going to be. So I have so many frying pans, it's ridiculous. So I'm getting rid of my cast iron frying pans. I have a couple of different size ones that are a lighter weight cast iron. I'll probably keep those, and then if I don't use them, I'll get rid of those next year. So many frying pans. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I'm just taking a little rest now, because you get to the point when you're crawling around on the floor and you get to be older, it's hard to get up. So I have to stretch out a little bit. But oh, I will be so happy when I get this project done. This was my second put on the to-do list and keep it on there because I didn't want to do it after the pantry. So, but I'm slowly working my way through all these cleaning projects. So, all right, well, now I got to clean the floor, and then I got to go through and see what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of. Hey, well, that was gross, but now it's good. So I probably still have too many frying pans, but that's okay because these finishes wear off and then I'll throw them away as they wear out. So that is much better. All my frying pans are in the same spot rather than some in here and some in here. I have my splatter screen, so this drawer I can open. It's not a big deal. So I'm happy with that. And then the oven part, I got rid of quite a bit. So I'm keeping my baking sheets and my baking pans, keeping those, and I'm keeping my tortilla press and my pizza stone, and of course the racks for cookies and things. And then I'm also keeping my clay baker, and there's a couple of loaf pans in there. So much better. I'm happy, and I feel much better that I got all this cleaned, and now I can use my stuff again because it was getting to the point where it was such a mess. I didn't know what I had, so now I do. So I'm done for the day. It's 3 o'clock, and I'm going to go do a little reading, I think. Okay, well, here's the frying pans I'm getting rid of. Cast iron, a baking sheet I never used. I'm not getting rid of this. This is to keep tortillas hot, so it's got a stone in it. But I need to put that away. And then I don't make a whole lot of grilled stuff anymore, so this pan is too big. I used to use it when I had more people here, but I have one that's smaller for 1 or 2. So these are all going to donation, and they're in really good shape, so somebody else can be happy with them. My gosh, it's going to take me 2 days to recover from that one. Oh, I just did not want to do it, but I had to because I was to the point I had 2 frying pans out that I couldn't put away because everything was such a mess, and I'm trying to get things organized in my kitchen. So the project took me about 2.5 hours. If I was younger and more spry, it probably would have taken me an hour, but I had to keep stopping because that crawling around on my hands and knees was just brutal. But yay, I got it done. So anyway, one less thing to do. Now my next big project is the food pantry downstairs, and I'm going to work on that before I finish the garage. So, but that'll take me several days to finish. Most of the food is packed away in buckets and things, but I have to move a lot of things out, get rid of some things, and put my steel storage units against the wall. So, and then of course I have to put them together, so that's going to take me a while. But there's really no rush to get that done. The garden is in pretty good shape now. So, but yeah, it was kind of a brutal day today, but I gotta get this stuff done so that I can relax the rest of the summer. At least that's my goal. So now I have to call the donation people and have them pick that stuff up. And hopefully I can gather some more things together for them. And then in the fall, I'm going to do my cupboards again. I still have too many pots and pans. So, yeah, you know, you gather all this stuff and you use it when you're younger, and then as you get older, you use less and less of it, so there's no sense to keeping it. But I want to be mindful of what I get rid of, so that I don't have to keep rebuying and rebuying. At least that's my plan. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to go call it a day. And I have no clue what I'm having for dinner. I'll pull something quick out of the freezer. I think I have a cauliflower crust pizza. That sounds good. I still have some salad. So that's probably what I'll have. So, all right, my friends. Oh, I wanted to read you something positive. Hang on, I'll get my book. Okay, I'm going to read out of this Year of Positive Thinking by Cindy Spiegel. And it says here, an exercise for shame. Shame is a powerful emotion that you can use to your advantage. What are you ashamed of? Could you turn that shame into a powerful statement of acceptance instead? For example, what if instead of saying, I am ashamed of growing up poor, you said, growing up in poverty is what has motivated me to work hard and to have a deep appreciation for all that I own. I can relate to that. Using our shame this way allows us to thrive and move forward boldly. Give it a try. And then also, focus on the ones who love you. Some people may not love you. Focus your energy on the ones who do. You'll be a whole lot happier because of it. So, I like these two little books, Positive Thinking and Whatever You Do, Be Happy, 400 Things to Think and Do for a Happy Life by Julia Dellett. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.